Thank you. Well, it's sort of more an underlying message of miscommunication. Hopefully, you'll know what I'm talking about at the end. Um, so yeah, I have two brothers and one sister. One of my brothers is severely handicapped, and the other one is on the autism spectrum. Um, and the story is going to be about him. So he is hilarious. He he's only 10, but like a lot of kids, he takes a lot from what he sees on TV and on YouTube and social media. And he doesn't miss a thing. And so I took him for a bike ride the other day, kind of forcing him to get out of the house because, isolation and whatnot. And so, obviously, like when we go out for a bike ride or we go out to the park, even though he's not meant to right now, he goes up to people and he'll, pretend to be a dinosaur or, um, in this case, he was going up and not miming, kind of humming the Jaws theme song to all the kids. And I was kind of saying, yeah, you can't do that, mate. Like, I might be scared of sharks. Anyway, so we were on the way home, and I think since he was a bit tired, he was starting to be a bit cheeky. And so I said, Gabe, if you're going to be cheeky, then you can walk home by yourself. And I didn't realize that that had really struck a chord with him. And so I think it was a few minutes later, I said something along the lines of, trying to make conversation, like, what do you want to be when you grow up, or something like that. And he was just giving me the silent treatment. And I was like, Gabe, what's wrong? And he just goes, are you going to treat me like a child or a man? And I was kind of like, what are you talking about? And he started crying, and I just said, Gabe, why are you crying? I'm really sorry, did I do something? And he's just like, it's I sweat, men don't cry. And I just went, well, where did you hear that from then? And I was kind of, feeling really excited. I was like, well, you're about to, get this big speech from your older sister about, gender roles and all that kind of stuff. And then I thought, maybe not, because, he's only 10 and I don't want to overwhelm him with, this huge rant or whatever. But, I just said, where did you hear that from? Men can cry. And he said, that's just an urban legend. That's like saying girls can fart. And I was just kind of like, okay, maybe I'll just, and I just kept asking him, where did you hear that from? And he would just, come up with answers like, oh, that's just the truth of life, or, I'm thinking because, no one in my family would have kind of told him about that. Probably was, on social media or YouTube, or, even from the kids at school he would have heard it from, type of thing. And, I really don't want my younger brother, particularly one who's, insanely, clever and, doesn't miss anything, to grow up, with, kind of, this idea of men can't cry, or, they constantly have to be, alphas, or, that kind of thing. I think we need to eradicate that idea of toxic masculinity. But I wasn't going to explain all that to a 10-year-old autistic boy. And so I just kind of, said, hey, Dad, can you have a chat to Gabe? And I just thought, gee, he's really going to be, getting a rude awakening when he finds out girls can fart. So, yeah. So he got a talking to, and I'm not sure if he's, completely on board the idea, but he's definitely learned something.